Common misconceptions brought to you by Lighthouse for the Blind of Fort Worth. Video description: a series of interview clips is shown, each with an individual adult in the BVI community. The interviews take place in a variety of places, with interviewees either indoors seated in a living space or a conference room, or outdoors standing on a sidewalk. At the end of the video, the Lighthouse for the Blind of Fort Worth logo is shown.
One of the most common misconceptions about visual impairment is that blindness means completely, totally blind. And blindness is actually a spectrum. I actually have pretty good acuity looking straight forward, but I have no peripheral vision, which means I can't drive because I can't see people changing lanes to come into my lane or vice versa. So, yeah, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that you have to be completely blind to be considered blind, and you don't.
Well, a common misconception they have about blind folks are that we can't do for ourselves, that we need help with everything, but we just lost our sight. We didn't lose what we learned as we were growing up before we lost our sight. I can do everything that I used to do except for drive. And people have a problem with us trying to do things ourselves. They want to get in and help us when we really don't need the help.
Yeah, misconceptions that everybody who's blind knows Braille. I don't. I learned in the alphabet in like fifth or sixth grade, but that was the extent. Mine is a progressive over a lifetime. So a lot of times at a restaurant, people might, say, offer the menu or bring it to you. It's like, oh, sorry, I don't know it.
The most common misconceptions about blindness essentially seems to be that you have to be totally blind. Sometimes when I say I'm blind, people will assume they need to help me with everything. So then you do this thing where you tell people you're visually impaired, and then people will not understand. So for instance, ordering a lift, I put that I was blind, and then someone had to pick us up from a little bit further away, and I said, oh yeah, those the cabs that get in the way, and they're like, but I thought you were blind. Like, I lied to them, but I did not, and I had to explain that blindness is a spectrum. So even if people have the same blindness conditions, it's not the same. Everyone is different. Every disability is different. You can't put us all in a box.
Another one might be that we are hard of hearing somewhat, which I am slightly, but it's more, for me anyway, like in a crowd, filtering out voices.
Another common misconception that I see sometimes is this not understanding how capable I am and how I just look at life and think about things maybe a little bit differently than they do, and that not driving a car is sometimes a barrier and an obstacle that's created in my daily life, but there are ways to work around it and other ways to think about things. And sometimes with just a little bit of understanding, things can be a lot easier.
I think a lot of times that no one not capable of doing certain things or certain tasks. They may think it's kind of difficult for us. Once they see what we can do, then a lot of people will have second thought. I believe is once they see someone in action, then I think it settles the score for that.